Hi, Miami. Welcome back to Community Newspapers. This is the Women to Women show. I am your host, Cristina Hernandez, and I'm super excited. With me today, I have Amanda Harris. Hi, Amanda.
Hi.
And I have loved my conversation with Amanda. Amanda is on a mission to save hospitality and save jobs. So this is going to be a great topic. Let's talk a little bit about what you do, how you got started, your background.
Yeah. Well, I started in hospitality about 15 years ago. I was in operations actually, but worked my way up the ladder the hard way, and was recently the corporate executive at the Diplomat Beach Resort. I was the director of marketing there, where I oversaw a 1,000-room hotel, 10 restaurants, and 200,000 square feet convention center. So pretty big project.
Yes.
Prior to that, I had launched the East Hotel at Brickell City Center. I was the global brand director for that launch. I had done Soho House, Casa Tua, The Standard. So really just love the food and beverage industry and made a career out of it. So
you have an impressive resume. So if we need marketing for the hospitality industry, you are our go-to person.
For the hospitality and now consumer products too. We with the company, we just signed our first consumer products. That's a fish dip that's sold at Publix. So we're getting our toes wet in other places as well.
Fish dip.
It's so good.
And you have started your own company.
Yes.
Tell us about this. I mean, like, how do you make the launch?
Sure.
Do you recommend making, like so many questions.
So it wasn't ever anything really in my plans. I got furloughed with COVID-19. I was in the peak of my career and I got furloughed last March. And about a week later, I said, you know what, I can sit here and wait for this to pan out, or I can start a consulting agency, because when and if COVID is over, there's going to be a lot of hotels and restaurants that are either opening for the first time and launching, or they're going to be reopening. And at that point in my career, I had pretty much done 5 in a row. So I was an expert at it. And all my friends were out of work. And I said, I can't pay you, but do you want to do this with me? I asked a few other partners and people, let's do this. And people said yes. And within a month, we signed our first client, the East Hotel. And now we've been around for a year. We launched Mila restaurants on Lincoln Road. We have the SLS Brickell Hotel. We have Mrs. Peter's Fish Dip. We did senior living community. So we're surviving, and we put about 6 people to work over the COVID period, including myself. So really helped, during such a hard time of unemployment. But yes, that's how I launched it.
And what is your company called?
It's called a Muse Society. And the meaning behind the name is we consider ourselves as the muses for creativity behind telling your story. And then society, because we care about making an impact on the community. So everything we do, even the clients we choose, are like-minded, conscious values, and community-oriented.
I love this.
Yeah.
How, do you have any regrets about launching a Muse Society?
Not at all. It's been hard, but work is hard.
Yeah.
And there's different hard parts about it, right? If you're self-disciplined and you love what you're doing, then it's worth it.
Yeah.
It's just like a corporate job, except for it's a little bit more responsibility because it's yours.
Yeah.
But no, I don't have any regret. I like the freedom of being able to really have my own voice versus, when you work for corporations, you really have to do their voice. And with our clients a little more, they like the style of a Muse Society. So they let us be kind of who we are when we do work for them.
I love it.
Yeah.
One of the things that my platform is all about is supporting women in business. And your story really resonated with me. One, you started your own company. I think, how do we get the word out to support women in business?
Well, I think exactly like you're saying. For me, my dad taught me when I get a job to always find a mentor. So every job I ever had, I found a mentor. I happened to choose female ones because females in the workplace. So I always had, and they're still, even though I leave the job, I still have them as mentors, and they stay relationships for me and they build. So just like you and I, reach out to each other, find a mentor, mentor someone.
Yes.
And in Muse Society, we have a lot of females within the company. We're small, but we're a lot of girls. We did partner now, and we have some guys in there and some team in Argentina, but we're a big girl power company, and the best way to support each other is just doing it. Yeah. Like reach out, mentor other women, buy from women businesses. I know, right? There's even like on food packaging, you can look at the back of food packaging and it will say women owned on certain food packaging. Yeah. So there's things you can do to try to support women businesses. Hire a Muse Society.
Hire a Muse Society. What are some upcoming new things happening in the hospitality industry?
Well, with one of my clients, the SLS Brickell, we're launching a pop-up restaurant in one of their spaces that closed down during COVID. So it's now time to reopen it back up. And they're launching a 10-course, 10-seat only tasting with Misfit Culinary Group. It's launching this week. So that's really exciting.
So cool.
There's a lot of new hotels and restaurants coming to Miami. So many people want to be in Miami right now. Just the world is slowly opening back up, but Miami, we kind of enjoy life and live life, and people want to be here. So there's just keep your eye out, because there's just so many new restaurants and hotels coming to the scene. Wynwood, a lot of places coming.
So one of the questions I always wonder when someone says that they're a marketing consultant, what does that mean? What do you do for your clients exactly?
So it depends on the client, but I do everything from analyzing their cost savings. So how are they spending their money? Maybe getting their program vamped up. So maybe they have a small company and they have, a team of 1 or maybe even 0 marketing people. So I show them how to build tricks and use software or tools that I use as a small company, or that I used when I didn't have big budgets, and how can they use it, and then maybe train a junior person to run these types of things. So tricks of the trade that you do when you don't have budgets, or you don't have, a team of 20. So I also help just with overall brand look and feel. So their colors, their logos, is their message being told clearly? How can we tell your message in a way that's going to support your sales better, and really look at return on investment, looking at your analytics of your website and your social media. And it's great to do all these things, but are they working? Are we spending our time wisely? Yeah. So that's most of the consulting work I do. And then at Muse Society, we also do social media content. So we'll do graphics and branding. And most of our clients actually are like brand launches. So it's much more than social media content, because they don't have brand books. So we need to develop who they are at the same time as their social media. So we help them with that, included in the price.
Wow. Very cool. Yeah. You also, I think you can get them into like TV spots, news spots.
I can. I do. I definitely have contacts there, but I don't want to say I'm a PR agency. There's PR agencies that I know that normally are also on the projects. What I do is I help guide the message. Right? Like, what's the story of the month? What are we talking about? And like, so how are we developing a strategic communications plan? Got it. And then the PR and marketing teams all go from there.
Got it. Yeah. What has been the biggest project you've worked on?
Ooh, let's see. I mean, they're all big in different ways. So as a Muse Society, or in my career?
Let's say in your career.
So the East Hotel was a really big one for me, because it was my first global role. So I managed and hired and managed 12 different countries of PR and marketing agencies. Wow. So, and with that, I got to travel. I got to do media trips I got to meet media, the top media from all these countries. And Brickell City Center was just such a big game changer for Miami. Yeah. I think it was a $15 billion project. Huge. And so that was the first time I wasn't only working with Miami or the US, I was working on a global scale. Wow. So that was a big deal for me. And then the Diplomat in itself was a big animal, just because Brookfield Hotel Properties bought it. It was, they bought it for like $400 million, put $100 million renovation. And we were about to sell for a very, very big price 3 years later and make a huge profit when COVID hit. But it was we turned a convention hotel into a luxury lifestyle. So it had meetings and groups during the week, and then luxury lifestyle consumers on the weekends. And that is just very rare. So it was a big accomplishment also.
I wanted to ask you another question, and I had it on the tip of my tongue. And now I know what I was going to ask you. Brickell.
Yes.
So much is happening. I mean, the growth in Brickell has been astounding.
It has.
What else is going to be happening in Brickell? Is it going to continue developing?
Yeah. Well, the mayor of Miami is doing a huge push to make Miami the next finance and tech capital of the world. So this is huge for us.
Yes.
And also during COVID, a lot of New Yorkers and a lot of people from LA and Chicago and Canada all moved to Miami. So we're now having we were always kind of the finance capital of Latin America. But now to be the one like equal to what New York stock market is.
I know.
So this is bringing a lot of business, and then the tech industry. So the fact that the mayor is supporting that is very good, because if these two industries are in our town, it only brings more business for all of us. Yeah, and jobs.
More jobs.
Yeah.
I love your posts. Some of them, they say, you're on a mission to save hospitality and save jobs.
Yeah. I mean, for me, gosh, like how many millions of people were in the same boat as me.
Everyone.
Losing our jobs. And for me, I mentioned to you, I lost my father suddenly 6 months before that. So I was down in the dumps. And I just said, gosh, there's a lot of people down in the dumps, and we have to do something, or I'm not going to be able to survive.
Yeah.
And so by me surviving, it helped other people survive, and other people stay positive during this really terrible moment.
Yeah.
Because work is what we do.
Yeah.
It's they say separate it, but I don't.
No.
For me, my work is myself.
If it's one thing that all of us,
Yeah.
I don't know anyone that isn't going to agree with this, that we've all learned during this pandemic, it's that we are social beings and we need human connection.
Absolutely.
And being able to just do this interview now face to face, and anyone's wearing masks, less of that. It's just like
so much. So the isolation was tough.
It was very difficult.
Just for me mentally, like I struggled. I was going through grief. They say also when you lose a job, it's the same trauma as a death. So double trauma, right? And then not being able to see your family, being isolated when you're used to being with people every day. So mentally, no, I had to reach out and ask for help and do things to help with my mental state last year. That also helped me get through it. It's not, sometimes people see, oh, you did a Muse Society, everything's great. No, I wasn't great, actually. And I work on it every day. And I did that to be okay, but I wasn't necessarily okay in the midst of it.
You know, the song by Rick Ross, Every Day I'm Hustling.
Yeah.
That seems like that's you.
Yeah,
every day you're hustling.
And every day, sometimes you're happy, sometimes you're down in the dumps.
Yeah.
But you have to just keep going through it. My mom always said life is like a wave. Sometimes you're up, sometimes you're down, but you're always going to go back up.
Yeah.
You're always going to go back down. Yeah. So learning the tools to ride the wave, right?
You got great parents.
I do. Yeah.
I have noticed also your social media and the content, how it is like you have a color scheme, and it's you do a great job.
Thanks.
So I highly recommend Amanda and a Muse Society.
Thank you.
Wishing you nothing but great success. And thank you for saving jobs and hospitality industry. It is struggling.
Yeah. Well, we're actually doing really well now. Like business is definitely back.
It's coming.
Guys, come back to work. That's the thing.
That's the thing.
Everybody,
right?
so now the jobs are here. And like everybody's ready. So we do need staff. Like we need more staff now than we needed before. So now we're like, and like, it's funny how quickly the tides turn, but all these people, all these hotel owners, all these restaurant owners, they're bringing business now. So let's staff them up. Let's be a part of their team. Let's help them have success. The more they have success, the more we have success. It's what I said when my client Mila Restaurants hired me. I said, if Mila has success, we have jobs.
Yes.
So we want jobs.
Yes. I've heard of Mila on Lincoln Road. I haven't been.
Yes.
What kind of food is it?
It's Mediterranean.
Okay.
It's Mediterranean and it's wonderful.
What is Mediterranean?
So it's a mix of south of France and Japanese.
Oh, wow.
And it's very like, they have a fire dancer at night. They have beautiful music. It's more of like a dinner. Like when I go out in the town, it's a dinner. I don't go out to places. So for me, going to somewhere like Mila is like a place where you're going to have a little more, it's not your average dinner. It's a little more lively and upbeat, and the food is just excellent.
Where on Lincoln Road is it?
So it's Meridian Avenue and Lincoln, and it's on you go up an elevator, this beautiful little hidden elevator, and it's on the roof.
How cool.
Yes.
Very
They've
cool.
been 6 months, or no, God, I don't know, 7 months or 8 months now open.
Awesome. Yeah. Amanda, anything else we want to touch on, highlight?
No, I think you covered it all.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I'm excited for you to see you continue grow and succeed in what you're doing in a Muse Society.
Thank you so much.
I also see your other hashtags inspired by Muse, which is really cool.
Inspired by Muse. So the company is called a Muse Society, but our mission is inspired by a muse. So what can we do to inspire you? What can we do to inspire ourselves, right? So always be inspired by a muse, and then you're going to keep going.
Yeah.
And if you want to follow us on Instagram, that's our tag is inspired by a muse.
Okay.
Yeah.
So follow Amanda on Instagram. A Muse Society and inspired by a muse.
It's inspired by a muse. And then my personal one's Amanda Harris _
Okay.
But yeah, either one.
Okay. And for the other thing, the pop-up that you're doing at the SLS, can anyone go to that?
Yeah, so it's the pop-up restaurant. It's a 10-course tasting. It's launching to the public this weekend. They're already sold out for the first weekend. So you will be able to make reservations, though. You just go to the SLS Brickell website, and there'll be a big press announcement about it this weekend and how to make reservations, or follow SLS Brickell account. Also on Inspired by a Muse, we'll share details of how you can make reservations, but it's going to be wonderful. It's with Misfit Culinary Group and wine pairings, and
very cool.
It's going to be very, very cool. It's a whole other elevated dining experience, and only 10 seats per night.
That's very intimate.
Yes.
Very cool.
The chef cooks in front of you, so you can watch how the food's being prepared, engage with him. Yes.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And the fish dip. Let's talk about
Mrs.
Fish dip.
Peters.
Yeah.
So Mrs. Peters is just a wonderful company. So we sent proposals to them for about 5 months. So that's part of being an agency. You don't know, you send lots of proposals and you get lots of leads, but you don't know when or if you're going to get the client. So they finally hired us to do their social media. And I went up to their, what they call a factory. I drove up there. It's about 2 hours north in Jensen Beach, Florida.
Okay.
And I thought I was going to arrive at a factory because it's in a package. So I thought it was processed food. No, they have everything in this fish shack. They're making it by hand. They're hand packaging it. The fish is all natural. It's keto friendly. They're smoking the fish with Australian oak wood. And then they're packaging it by hand and selling at Publix and Sprouts, all in Florida. And then they're launching soon in Whole Foods and Costco. But yeah.
So you can get it right now.
You can get it right now at Publix.
I'm going to look for it.
It's next to the Boar's Head Meats.
Okay.
So it's called Mrs. Peters Fish Dip.
Okay.
And it's natural.
Yes.
Which is there. If you look at the ingredients, it's all about the taste and it's all about the ingredients. And for me, that's just, I feel pride to be able to work with companies like this that really are doing conscious food that's good for you. It doesn't just look good. It's actually good for you.
And you saw them making
I saw it. I saw everything. And we're going to put it on social media soon. You'll see it soon. We just did their first photo shoot. So we're very excited. But they're called Mrs. Peters Smokehouse on social media. If you want to follow them.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Okay, everybody. So if you are a woman in business, and you're here in Miami, I would love to help promote you and your business. So get in touch with us and we'll see you next week. Thanks, Amanda, again for being with us. Be sure to follow her and Inspired by a Muse on Instagram. And we will see you next Monday at 11 a.m. for the Women to Women show. Thanks. Bye-bye.